Hello students, in the previous classes we are studied with the Archaebacteria and its characteristics and the classification of Archaebacteria. Archaebacteria can be classified into three different types. One is thermoacidophiles, methanogens and halophiles. Right? In this class we are going to continue with the same topic of kingdom Monera is Eubacteria. Okay, in this class we are going to study the classification and characteristic features of the Eubacteria. You already know about that Eubacteria. Eubacteria, it is also called as true bacteria. What is the major difference between Eubacteria and true bacteria? Cell wall. The cell wall is the main criteria for the classification of ancient Archaebacteria and Eubacteria. Right? Okay. Next is, when coming to the characteristic features of the Eubacteria, they are also unicellular, prokaryotic organisms. Unicellular prokaryotic organisms. They are also called as germs. They can cause the diseases. Okay, all the bacteria they can cause the diseases. No, few organisms like if the capsule is present and those bacteria are virulent in nature, pathogenic in nature. In the Bridgecove classes you already learned about gram-positive bacteria and gram-negative bacteria, or virulent bacteria and non-virulent bacteria, right? And here also few bacteria are pathogenic in nature and few bacteria are non-pathogenic in nature based on the presence of capsule. And here these bacteria are cosmopolitan in nature. They can found everywhere, in the water also, in the air also, in our environment also. There is the cosmopolitan in nature, and these are the characteristic features of the Eubacteria. Again, when coming to the Eubacteria, based on the nutrition, based on their shape, the bacteria can be classified into many types. Based on the what? Based on what? One is nutrition and based on the shapes. Based on the shapes, the bacteria can be divided into many different types. First I would like to explain the classification of bacteria based on their shapes. Based on their shapes. Okay, when coming to the shape of the bacteria, and few bacteria are spherical in shape, and those bacteria are called as cocci bacteria. Cocci or coccus bacteria, like that. They are spherical in shape. And next type is, few bacteria are rod in shape, and those bacteria are called as Bacillus bacteria. Bacillus bacteria, like that. And third one is, few bacteria are gamma in shape, and those bacteria are called as Vibrio. Few bacteria are called as few bacteria are called as Vibrio bacteria. Gamma shape. And next is, the last one is Spirilla. The last type is Spirilla shaped bacteria. Spirilla. This type of bacteria having spirilla shape. This is the classification of bacteria based on the shape. The bacteria can be classified into four types based on the shape. Few bacteria are spherical in shape, and those bacteria are called as cocci bacteria. And few bacteria are rod in shape, is called as Bacillus bacteria. And few bacteria are having comma shape, and those bacteria are called as Vibrio bacteria. And the few bacteria are having spiral shaped structure, and those bacteria are called as spirilla shaped bacteria. based on the shape, the next is nutrition. Based on the nutrition, the bacteria can be classified into two types. Based on the nutrition, the bacteria can be classified into two types. One is autotrophs and heterotrophs. Autotrophs and heterotrophs. What are autotrophs and what are heterotrophs? The autotroph means the bacteria which can prepare their own food. Those bacteria that never depends on food for other organisms, and those bacteria are called as autotrophs. Okay, autotroph bacteria prepare their own food. Prepare their own food. Okay, what about heterotrophs? The bacteria which depends on the food for others, and those bacteria are called as heterotrophs. Depend on the food for others. Okay, this is the classification based on the nutrition. Based on the nutrition. Again, in the autotrophic bacteria or autotrophic bacteria can be classified into two types. One is photosynthetic bacteria. Photosynthetic bacteria, and next is chemosynthetic bacteria. Photosynthetic bacteria and chemosynthetic bacteria. What is photosynthetic bacteria and what is chemosynthetic bacteria? Here, the bacteria they can prepare by their own food by the presence of or by the utilization of sunlight. Okay, by the utilization of sunlight and water and the chlorophyll pigment, and those bacteria are called as photosynthetic bacteria. Okay, they synthesize their food by the utilization of carbon dioxide, carbon dioxide and water and the solar energy, and those bacteria are called as photosynthetic bacteria. And the next type of bacteria is chemosynthetic bacteria. What is chemosynthetic bacteria means? They synthesize the food, or they can synthesize the food by the production of chemicals. By the utilization of chemicals, they synthesize the food. They synthesize the carbohydrate from the chemicals. By the chemicals is called as chemosynthetic bacteria. This is the classification under the autotrophic bacteria. Based on the nutrition, the bacteria can be divided into two types. One is autotrophic bacteria and heterotrophic bacteria. The bacteria which can prepare their own food is called as autotrophic bacteria. The bacteria which do not depend on the food for others, they are called as heterotrophic bacteria. And next is, there are two types, photosynthetic and chemosynthetic. Photosynthetic means they can synthesize the carbohydrate by the utilization of carbon dioxide, water and the solar light. The solar energy is called as photosynthetic. Chemosynthetic, they synthesize the carbohydrate from the chemicals, is called as chemosynthetic bacteria. Okay, after that, after the classification of autotrophic bacteria, the next classification based on the nutrition in the heterotrophic bacteria is three types. There are three types based on the heterotrophic nutrition. One is parasitic bacteria. And the next one is symbiotic bacteria. And saprophytic bacteria. This is the classification based on the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Now tell me, what is parasitic bacteria, what is symbiotic bacteria and saprophytic bacteria? Parasitic bacteria means the name which indicates here parasitic bacteria. They depends on the food for other host, and these bacteria they can cause the diseases also. They are harmful bacteria. Okay, parasitic bacteria, those are the bacteria they obtain the food from the cells of the plants and the animals. Okay, when they are attached to the or they can search or they go and they are present inside the host and they damages the host and they can cause the diseases, and those bacteria are called as parasitic bacteria. Like Salmonella typhi, it will entering inside our body within few or 2 or 3 days. It will causes the diseases. Disease called as typhoid. Salmonella typhi is a bacteria which can cause the disease called as typhoid fever. Okay, for example, Vibrio cholerae. Vibrio cholerae is a type of bacteria which cause the disease called as cholera. Okay, like that. Okay, next is symbiotic bacteria. What is this symbiotic bacteria? Here, this is a type of bacteria in which there is a mutual understanding between the host and the bacteria. Okay, always the symbiotic they form this. It is a type of bacteria. They form the symbiotic association, and these bacteria they are not harmful bacteria, they are helpful bacteria. It does not cause any diseases. Okay, symbiotic bacteria means they lives in the symbiotic association. And next type is saprophytic bacteria. It is a type of bacteria which receives or which depends on the food from the dead and decaying organic matter. Okay, it is a heterotrophic bacteria in which they depends on the food or they obtain the food from the dead and decaying organisms. Okay, this is the classification of bacteria based on the nutrition, based on the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay, that's all about the classification of bacteria based on the nutrition. You already know about the shape. Based on the shapes also the bacteria can be divided into 4 types. Okay, and based on the presence of capsule also the bacteria can be divided into 2 types. One is pathogenic bacteria and non-pathogenic bacteria, or virulent bacteria or non-virulent bacteria. S forms and R forms. S means smooth bacteria and R means rough colonies bacteria. Okay, this is the classification of bacteria. And next topic we are going to study is cyanobacteria. Very important for examination point of view is cyanobacteria. What is cyanobacteria? Whether it is autotrophic or heterotrophic, it is a bacteria, right? It is a bacteria. What is the main role of this bacteria? Cyanobacteria. Very important for 3-mark question. Draw a neat and labeled diagram of nostoc colony or cyanobacteria or blue-green algae. It is also called as blue-green algae also. Okay, and here what is the main role of this cyanobacteria and what is the shape of this cyanobacteria? Here, the cyanobacteria it is a bacteria. It is also unicellular, prokaryotic, and autotrophic bacteria. Autotrophic bacteria. They can prepare their own food. It does not depend on any other organisms for the food. So that's why it is a autotrophic in nature. Cyanobacteria is unicellular, prokaryotic, autotrophic bacteria. If they can prepare their own food, means it is a photosynthetic bacteria. There is a presence of chlorophyll. There is a presence of chlorophyll pigment inside the body. The another very important thing here is these bacteria. There is the presence of a specialized cells called as heterocysts, and these heterocysts which helps in the nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen fixation. And these cyanobacteria, they always grow in colonies. They always grow in colonies and they forms the algal blooms. They forms the algal blooms inside the water. What is this algal blooms? What is meant by algal blooms? Algal blooms means in the ponds or in the lakes, these cyanobacteria, they grow invasively and they form a scum inside the water. Always these bacteria, they are colonial in nature. They always grow in a colonies below the surface of the water. In the ponds or in the lakes, these bacteria, they grow enormously or invasively. Invasive means uncontrolled manner. Uncontrolled manner, it grows invasively and form the water scum inside the water, and those water scums are called as algal blooms. Is there any effect of this algal blooms inside the water? Yes, because these algal blooms which may damage the aquatic organisms. Okay, this organism, it consumes much amount of oxygen from the water. It decreases the growth or development of aquatic organisms in the aquatic medium. And another thing, this cyanobacteria are protected by the mucilaginous sheath. Mucilaginous sheath. Here, see here, the cyanobacteria cell wall is protected by the sheath called as mucilaginous sheath. Okay, that's all about cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria is also called as blue-green algae because of its color, and it is autotrophic in nature and unicellular. They always grow in a colony. What is the shape of this cyanobacteria and how it looks like? Is for the here. This is the cyanobacteria. These are the specialized cells, heterocyst. This is the mucilaginous sheath. Nostril column. Draw a neat and label diagram of nostril filament. This one. Draw a neat and label diagram of nostril colony or nostril filament. This is the answer. Here, this is the heterocyst. What is the role of heterocyst? Which helps in nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen fixation, and this is the mucilaginous sheath. mucilaginous sheath. Okay, the cyanobacteria, it is also called as blue-green algae, and it consists of a specialized cells called as heterocyst, which helps in nitrogen fixation. And the another very important thing, it is covered by the sheath called as mucilaginous sheath, and it is autotrophic bacteria. They can prepare their own food. It is photosynthetic in nature. They can prepare their own food. This is the very important question for the examination point of view. Okay, next is the another very important type of bacteria is there, and the bacteria is called as mycoplasma. Mycoplasma. What is the important thing about this mycoplasma? Mycoplasma, it is a type of bacteria in which this bacteria, it completely lacks the cell wall. It completely lacks the cell wall. How they can survive? And what is the shape of this bacteria? Without cell wall, how would be looking like this? Means this is the mycoplasma. It is also one of the type of bacteria without it does not having the presence of cell wall. Instead of the cell wall of mycoplasma, it is made up of lipoprotein. Lipoprotein, you can see here, this is the bacteria, this is the mycoplasma. In this mycoplasma, there is no presence of cell wall. So that's why instead of the cell wall, the layer is acts as a cell wall, and this layer is called as lipoprotein membrane. Lipoprotein membrane. What is the main thing about the mycoplasma? It is a type of bacteria without cell wall. And another very important thing about the mycoplasma is it is an anaerobic bacteria. They can grow in an anaerobic condition. Anaerobic bacteria, and also without cell wall bacteria. The bacteria which lacks the cell wall is mycoplasma. The bacteria, they can grow in the absence of oxygen, is mycoplasma. These are the two types of bacteria. One is cyanobacteria and another one is mycoplasma. And what is the important thing about the mycoplasma? It lacks the cell wall. Instead of cell wall, the lipoprotein membrane will present, and it can respire. They can grow in the anaerobic condition. So that's why it is called as anaerobic bacteria. And this bacteria, they may pathogenic or not. These bacteria, it is pathogenic in nature, and this mycoplasma, they can cause the diseases in plants also and in animals also. Plants also, in the animals also, they can cause the diseases. Okay, and after the completion of this, the next topic we are going to study is reproduction. How the reproduction takes place in a bacteria. All the bacteria can reproduce. Yes. Each and every minute, each 20 minutes, the bacteria can be reproduced. The main type of bacterial reproduction is fission. Fission is the binary fission. It is a type of asexual reproduction in which, without the absence of bacteria, the bacteria can be divided into two equal halves, and each half they can develop into a new individual. So this is the bacteria. And the bacteria, it can divide by means two division. A division of bacterial cell, and each half they can develop into a new individual. Each one each arm is developed into a new individual. Binary fission is the type of asexual reproduction takes place in the bacterial cell. And is there any sexual reproduction takes place in the bacteria? Yes, in the bacteria, the sexual reproduction is also takes place by the transformation of genetic materials. By the transformation of genetic materials, the bacteria can reproduce sexually also. Okay, the another very important thing about the bacteria is all the bacteria are non-harmful. Some bacteria are helpful also, and some bacteria are harmful also. Okay, that's all about the bacteria. The bacteria's classification. In this class, we are already discussed with the bacteria and the characteristics, features, and the classification of bacteria based on the shapes, based on the nutrition. And cyanobacteria is very important question for 2 mark or 3 mark. Draw a neat and label diagram of cyanobacteria nostoc filament or nostoc colony. And another very important thing, name a bacteria which lacks the cell wall is Mycoplasma, and name the anaerobic bacteria Mycoplasma. And with the Mycoplasma, it can cause the diseases in plants also, animals also. What are heterocysts? Heterocysts, 1 mark question important. The cells, the specialized cells which are present in the nostoc filament is called as heterocyst. What is the main role of heterocyst? Which helps in the nitrogen fixation. Okay, thank you. In the next class, we are going to discuss with the next ultrastructure of bacterial cell. Very important for 5 mark question. And next, in the next coming class, we are going to discuss the next kingdom called as kingdom Protista. Thank you.